Have you ever experienced the feeling of being discarded without any explanation, treated like an old toy someone got bored with and threw away? If your answer is yes, it's likely that you've been a victim of a narcissist. They come into your life with sweet words and passionate gestures of love, making you feel like you're living in a fairy tale. But then, one day, everything suddenly falls apart. The love and care you once knew disappear, replaced by coldness, indifference, or even cruelty. So, what happened? Why does a narcissist change so abruptly? And what do they do when they're preparing to discard you? Let's delve into the dark secrets hidden behind the perfect mask of narcissists to better understand what you might be facing. More importantly, let's equip ourselves with the knowledge needed to protect ourselves and overcome the pain caused by being discarded. Don't forget that the ultimate goal of a narcissist is to destroy you. They want to torment and trample on you mercilessly before leaving. Therefore, before letting go, they need to ensure that their presence is etched into your memory, leaving you with regret, pain, and a wound you can never truly forget. For narcissists, everything is meticulously calculated, like a chess game, where they are the sole player. The behaviors I'm about to discuss may occur throughout the relationship, but will escalate as they prepare to discard you. This is because they don't want you to harbor any doubts about being the one at fault, the sole reason for the relationship's collapse. Everything happens suddenly, cruelly, and without warning. In an instant, what seemed like a stable relationship crumbles, like a storm sweeping away everything in its path. You'll feel stunned, bewildered, unable to grasp what's happening. The constant sense of unease you felt in the relationship with a narcissist now becomes a reality. The rug is pulled out from under you, leaving you in chaos and despair. You'll ask yourself, how could someone I loved be so cruel? How could they turn their back on me so quickly and without hesitation? The simple answer is this: because to a narcissist, you were never truly important. So, what are the red flags that signal your relationship with a narcissist is heading toward collapse? Don't take your eyes off the screen. I'll reveal them right now. They constantly criticize you. One of the clearest signs that a narcissist is preparing to leave a relationship is an unrelenting increase in criticism. At first, their remarks may seem harmless, targeting how you dress, cook, or speak. These critiques are often disguised as concern or constructive feedback, making it easy for you to dismiss them. But over time, these seemingly gentle comments morph into sharp jabs aimed directly at the vulnerabilities of your soul. The goal isn't to help you improve, but to erode your confidence and push you into a state of self-doubt. Gradually, you find yourself trapped in a cycle of dependency, constantly seeking their approval like an antidote that never satisfies. Before they leave, narcissists often escalate everything to the extreme. They incessantly find faults in your words and actions, even fabricating issues in the relationship that never existed. They show their dissatisfaction through cold glares, harsh criticisms, or even icy silence. They want you to feel consumed by guilt and blame yourself when they leave. In their eyes, you become a distorted version of yourself, desperately trying to meet the impossible standards they've set. This is no longer a healthy relationship, but a performance where they are the director and you are an unwilling actor struggling to please an audience that will never be satisfied. But it doesn't stop there. They go a step further by smearing you to your family and friends, painting a picture of you as the one at fault. This isn't something that happens overnight. It's a process they've quietly been orchestrating for a long time, but it intensifies right before they discard you. Their lies and attempts to degrade you in front of others are an expression of their true resentment. It's also a way for them to exit the relationship without taking any responsibility. They begin to siphon off your assets. A narcissist manipulation doesn't stop at harsh criticism or emotional exploitation. It often extends to something more tangible: your possessions. At first, the signs might seem insignificant and easy to overlook, A few small items mysteriously disappear without explanation, a favorite watch, some cash from your wallet, or a cherished keepsake. When you ask about it, they act bewildered, sometimes even reacting as though you are accusing them unfairly. But the disappearances don't stop there. Gradually, more valuable items start to vanish inexplicably. The diamond necklace your mother gave you for your birthday, the savings you painstakingly accumulated over the years, or even the car you just bought, all could become their targets. They don't just take, they conceal, divert, or even blatantly seize these items without batting an eye. A narcissist's insatiable greed doesn't end with material possessions. When the opportunity arises, they will exploit your trust to gain control over your assets and finances in increasingly sophisticated ways. One victim shared that she once caught her husband, an archetypal narcissist, secretly transferring money from their joint account to a hidden account she didn't know existed. When confronted, rather than showing remorse, he lashed out at her, accusing her of being distrustful, controlling, and overly suspicious. He even manipulated her emotions to make her feel guilty for questioning his actions. This is the crux of it. A narcissist will never admit to wrongdoing. Instead, they shift the blame, painting themselves as the victim in every situation. For narcissists, there are no limits to their audacity and greed. Trust, love, and even dignity are tools for them to exploit and manipulate. They won't hesitate to sacrifice anything, even moral values or important relationships, to satisfy their greed and need for control. Every action they take is masked by a carefully crafted facade, making it difficult for you to uncover the truth until it's too late. They go silent and cold. One of the most telling and agonizing signs that a narcissist is preparing to leave is the deafening silence. It's not a fleeting moment of quiet, but a complete withdrawal from your emotional world, even though they remain physically present. In a marriage or family, this wall of silence feels like a sharp blade cutting through the connection between you, leaving you suffocated and isolated in the very home you once called your loving sanctuary. The silence of a narcissist is vastly different from the pauses in communication that occur in healthy relationships when both parties need time to reflect. This isn't a temporary tactic or a way to resolve conflict. It's a cold, prolonged declaration, "I'm still here, but I'm done with you." They don't need to say it explicitly, don't need to argue, and certainly don't care to hear anything you have to say. This silence is punitive. It's their way of throwing you into a spiral of confusion, anxiety, and self-doubt. You start asking yourself, "What did I do wrong? Am I not good enough?" As you beg for their attention, grovel to save the relationship, they pull further away, exuding an almost cruel indifference. The narcissist wants you to believe that you are the reason for the cracks in the relationship. This behavior doesn't just harm your self-esteem, it robs you of emotional connection, leaving you completely alone in the relationship. You begin to doubt yourself, lose confidence, and unconsciously depend on them to find even a sliver of reassurance or validation. This is precisely the narcissist's goal, to weaken you psychologically, trapping you in their web of manipulation. This silence isn't merely a disconnect, it's a potent weapon they wield to solidify their control. Every time you crave an explanation, try to break through their icy wall, they respond with indifference or even disdain, as if you're an insignificant being, unworthy of their attention. These actions embed a cruel message into your mind. You are no longer valuable enough for them to waste time or energy on. This silence is not just a retreat, but a subtle and insidious form of discarding, slowly wearing down your spirit day by day. What's even more terrifying is that this discarding has no clear ending. You're denied the chance to voice your grievances, to be heard, or to seek closure together. Instead, you're left in a fog of ambiguity, chaos, and guilt. Feelings they deliberately plant within you. They not only slam the door on emotional intimacy, but block every avenue of communication, turning the relationship into a prison for your soul, a stifling, suffocating space with no apparent way out. they manipulate you into leaving first. Narcissists often employ subtle strategies to manipulate relationships, and one of their most cunning tactics is deliberately pushing their partner to the point of wanting to leave. A common method they use is stirring feelings of jealousy. They might do this by making cryptic references to an ex, exaggerating the value of past relationships, or even reconnecting with an ex if that person has become a new supply. To fulfill their narcissistic needs, though they try to appear innocent, these actions are meticulously calculated to create insecurity, doubt, and eventually wear you down to the point where you want to end the relationship. During this phase, they become increasingly distant, emotionally unavailable, and colder in their behavior, though not so overtly as to make them appear blatantly at fault. Narcissists carefully calibrate their actions to subtly drive you away without exposing themselves as the villain in the story. When you finally decide to break things off, they rarely resist, because that outcome was their goal all along. For them, having you initiate the breakup not only frees them from the relationship, but also allows them to maintain their public image. However, breaking up doesn't mark the end of their manipulation. To protect their ego and conceal their true nature, narcissists will quickly rewrite the entire story in a way that casts them in a favorable light. They recast themselves as the victim of the relationship, while painting you as the villain who ruined everything. With their skillful storytelling and dramatic flair, they spin events in a way that elicits sympathy from others, often turning those around them against you without anyone knowing the full truth. To bolster the credibility of their narrative, they enlist flying monkeys, people they've subtly manipulated and persuaded to take their side. These flying monkeys, misled by false information, not only support the narcissist version of events, but may also actively participate in isolating you and adding psychological pressure after the relationship ends. This calculated orchestration ensures the narcissist remains in control of the narrative even after the relationship has ended, leaving you to pick up the pieces while they continue to manipulate others and reinforce their false persona. They launch a smear campaign to justify their departure. Ultimately, a narcissist's departure is never peaceful. For them, a breakup isn't just the end of a relationship, it's an opportunity to turn you into a target for their revenge. What remains after the breakup isn't just heartbreak, but deep psychological wounds and immeasurable losses. Narcissists don't leave quietly. They turn the breakup into a cruel spectacle with you as the main character being humiliated. Prepare yourself for a smear campaign where your dignity and reputation are ruthlessly trampled. They won't hesitate to fabricate lies, distort the truth, or spread malicious rumors to tarnish your image in the eyes of others. Sometimes these rumors are subtly spread, targeting those closest to you, such as friends, family, or co-workers. Their cruelty doesn't stop at damaging your reputation. They may actively sabotage your career or job, especially if they have access to sensitive information about you. Victims have shared stories of narcissists exposing personal secrets, sending defamatory emails to bosses or colleagues, or even spreading false accusations on social media to discredit them. For a narcissist, there are no boundaries to their hatred and desire to destroy you. Even worse, they may target what you hold most dear. Whether it's an important project, a cherished relationship, or even your family, they'll seek ways to undermine those things. Their goal is to make you feel like nothing in your life is safe, leaving you in a state of helplessness and despair. What's most chilling is how they carry out all of this with a cold, emotionless demeanor, rationalizing their actions as if they're entirely justified. They want you to feel as though you've lost not only the relationship, but also your dignity, career, and other meaningful connections. For them, destroying you isn't just about revenge, it's about asserting ultimate control, a final declaration that you cannot overcome them. The discard phase is like a devastating storm, sweeping through your life and leaving behind a trail of destruction. It's not a normal breakup, where two people sit down, share their feelings, and seek a peaceful resolution. Discard, a term that sounds cold and cruel, is exactly what it is. In the midst of this storm, the narcissist has no regard for your feelings, your need for explanations, or your desire for understanding. They simply walk away as if you never existed in their life. To a narcissist, other people's emotions mean nothing unless they serve their selfish purposes. So, we've explored the warning signs that a narcissist is preparing to leave you. But have you ever wondered what truly lies behind their sudden departure? What are the real reasons narcissists choose to leave? Let's continue this journey into the complex inner world of these individuals to uncover the motives behind the glamorous masks they wear. Why they discard you. Narcissists, driven by their pride and insatiable need for control, will not hesitate to discard you when their throne of power begins to wobble. Any attempt on your part to set boundaries, say no to unreasonable demands, or assert your self-worth will be perceived as rebellion, a threat to their dominance. To the narcissist, you are nothing more than a puppet meant to obey their every command. Once the puppet dares to rise up and resist, they swiftly discard you, treating you like a worn-out toy that no longer serves its purpose. Their selfishness also manifests in their readiness to leave when you can no longer meet their endless needs, be it emotional, material, or energetic. During your moments of struggle, when you need a shoulder to lean on or a hand to hold, they will turn their back on you. In their eyes, you've become a dried-up well that can no longer provide sustenance, and so they leave to seek a new promised land, where their ravenous ego can continue to be fed. But don't be surprised to learn that this departure was premeditated. Narcissists always have a new supply ready, another relationship waiting in the wings to ensure they are never alone or deprived. This isn't merely about finding a replacement. It's also a calculated act of revenge, designed to assert their power and maximize your pain. By swiftly moving on to someone new, they want you to drown in the agony of betrayal, of being replaced, of being left behind. In their eyes, this new supply is always more attractive and dazzling than you. However, as with all the others in their love games, the new supply will eventually be forgotten and replaced by yet another fresh face. When you, with your broken heart, attempt to heal and move forward, the narcissist may come back to hoover you. But don't be fooled. Their return is never out of love or genuine concern. It's merely to soothe their bruised ego. To the narcissist, your failure to beg or plead for them to stay is a humiliation, a sign that their power over you has waned. To restore their dominance, they return, like a cat toying with a mouse, using sweet words and empty promises to lure you back into the same destructive cycle. And once they've regained control, they will discard you all over again. This cycle of discard and hoover inflicts deep emotional pain, leaving you physically and mentally drained. It doesn't end there. Narcissists may resort to dirty tactics to harm you further, including fabricating lies, making false accusations, or rallying others against you. You might find yourself isolated, misunderstood, and even losing important relationships. For narcissists, any method is fair game if it satisfies their selfish desires. After being discarded by a narcissist, the emotional wounds can run deep, leaving you overwhelmed by despair and loss. It may feel like the end of everything, but remember, this pain is not your ending. It can be the start of a new beginning where you rediscover yourself. Don't let the pain consume you. Instead, view it as an opportunity to rise stronger than before. The most crucial step is allowing yourself to heal. Don't deny your feelings or pretend to be okay. Instead, seek support from trusted friends, family, or communities of people who have been through similar experiences. Share your pain, not just to receive advice, but to release the negativity bottled up inside you. The empathy of others can help you feel less alone and regain your strength. At the same time, learn to love yourself more. This is your time to prioritize yourself, care for your physical and mental health, and rebuild your self-confidence. Engage in activities you enjoy, try new things, or simply take time to reflect in solitude. Small acts like reading a book, attending a yoga class, or journaling your thoughts can bring about significant inner transformation. Remember, you deserve happiness. Don't give the narcissist another chance to manipulate you and drag you deeper into their toxic cycle. They may try to lure you back with fake apologies or calculated promises, but you must stand firm. Set clear boundaries and protect yourself from further harm. Instead of dwelling on what you've lost, focus all your energy on rebuilding your life. Use this opportunity to rediscover your passions, pursue forgotten goals, and create a brighter future for yourself. Start small. Make a list of things you want to achieve. Plan a trip or learn a new skill. These steps will not only aid your recovery, but also show you that you can thrive without the narcissist presence. Ultimately, your growth and resilience are the best responses to a narcissist. Show them, and most importantly yourself, that you can not only survive but also thrive after their discard. Rise up, shine brightly, and live a life full of purpose. Not to prove anything to anyone, but because you deserve peace, love, and true happiness. You are worthy of so much more, and this chapter is just the beginning of a life that is authentically yours.